Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I got a comment here I'm going to share with you guys. It's a comment that I received on Kevin247, and it was really interesting. Really made me, it's continuously making me think and evaluate life. And it says, Kevin, let me do this correctly. The commenter and their name will be blurred out. They do not get recognition for this because I think that they left this comment intentionally to potentially hurt me and my feelings, discredit me, tear down the work that I do, not from a point of critique and constructive criticism, but from a place of anger, of distaste, dislike, which I will actually share another comment with you guys that I don't really like to do, but I do think it's important for me not just to talk to you guys about effective communication, but for me to take my own advice and do the same. And I think it's better to talk about these things openly, freely, and discuss them rather than keep them pent up and locked up and boiling over and building up until there's a breaking point. Not only for me, but for others, because maybe there's a possibility that they don't realize what they said, how they said it, how it came across, and what it means to whoever receives it, especially through text. Typed comments typically get received in an extreme, whatever direction it may be. It's typically received in an extreme based on spelling, capitalization, punctualization, the mood of the reader at the time. Without tone and facial expression and body language, it's hard to really understand where someone's coming from, especially when most of the comments like these are coming from a place of hate. And and we can get in. If you go on Patreon, you'll experience more of these discussions, especially with SquirrelTribe with Michelle. She has more subscribers, she gets more views, she gets more comments, and unfortunately, ultimately, she has to filter through more of the trash. But this one here says, Kevin is in the same lane all the time. A very negative vibe consistently becomes boring. Your content is becoming redundantly stale. We get it about our country. How about discussing morals of our people and politicians? Now, I don't really put a lot of value in this, not because I'm an arrogant asshole, which I'm not going to argue that, but because of the lack of capitalization, the terrible grammar and spelling and punctuation. I feel like this is it. You get out what you put in. You put in very little effort, you get little back. So you can't even bother to capitalize my name, which is the beginning of the sentence. I get it. Okay, all good. Whereas the next sentence you do, like whatever. But let me just explain this from my perspective. Number one, Kevin is in the same lane all the time, which isn't actually true, because if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you would know and realize and agree that my channel has changed continuously over time, evolving for me, for you, for the algorithm, for the profitability of the channel. It continues to evolve. It continues to change. However, if you're going to say that Kevin is in the same lane all the time, then that actually is a good thing, because according to YouTube and the success of channels on YouTube and growing YouTube channels, then you want to maintain a certain level of consistency. Therefore, same lane. However, if I'm in the same lane all the time and it causes you to type and create this negative comment, I have to assume is negative. Why do you keep watching? Why do you keep engaging? Why do you keep clicking? The definition of insanity is continuously doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Moving on. A very negative vibe consistently becomes boring. Again, if I'm in the same lane and if I'm consistently negative and it becomes boring, why are we having this conversation? Why are we here? Your content is becoming redundantly stale. Again, I have to ask the same question. Why do you keep coming back for more? If I keep walking through a door and every time I walk through the door, I get kicked in the dick, I'm not going to keep walking through the damn door, okay? Well, maybe if I do, I'm going to cover my, whatever. We get it about our country. I guess that's a complete sentence. How about discussing morals of our people and politicians? So now I'm completely confused because I have discussed the morals of our people and politicians in the past. So obviously you haven't watched my channel for very long for you to say that I'm in the same lane and I am consistently becoming boring and negative and redundant and stale. All lies, all contradictions, all proving a point, all revealing yourself. And I have to ask you guys the same question I asked Michelle, which was, how in the world can I discuss the morals of our people and our politicians and not have a negative vibe? I'll wait and let you guys answer that one. And then the other one is, this one's ridiculous. It's 2023. It's about to be 2024. We're still having these conversations and these back and forths, which only ever happen behind the protection of a shielded keyboard. You sleeping with the E, that discredit your love for self. So we're speaking in codes here. And if anyone knows and understands what this comment really means, you'll get it. But again, I have to just look at it from the basic element and position of grammar, spelling, punctuation, and realize that this person is very, very ignorant, okay? And normally I would chalk this up to a bot, but I think this one's actually a real person. And honestly, I have to say that based on the context of this comment, it is a black female. Unfortunately, this is true. This is a stereotype. This is, typically common. And these folks, look, I pay you no mind, but I did think that it was interesting and at least worth a discussion and conversation with you all, those who I actually appreciate and enjoy engaging with and creating this content and videos for over here, and interested in your thoughts.